Hey, howdy, hey, Disney Cruisers! Today I'm going to show you some of the things that you can get on the ship, such as what certain tickets look like, what your boarding pass looks like, and what navigators are, and all that good stuff. As always, before we begin, if you are part of our family already, give me a like down below so I know that you're here. And if you haven't subscribed to our family, you should, because it's awesome and it's growing and you should be a part of it because Disney cruising is fabulous and it should be in your life. All right, so I'm just gonna go over some of the little things that I've kept along the way. I had a big pile on my bookshelf and I decided, hey, why not talk about it and share it with you so you guys can kind of see what you're in for when you get on the ship. So the first thing I wanna show you is your little boarding pass. No, actually, I'm going to go even further back and I'm going to show you some of the things you get in the mail before your cruise begins. Some of you probably already have these things, I'm sure. I should have had this more organized. So the first thing you'll get once you book your cruise online in the mail is this really cute planning guide. It's so pretty. It doesn't even have to be this pretty. Disney just makes it this pretty because they want to make it this pretty. Like, it could have just been a piece of paper or it could have been nothing. They could have just emailed you, but no. Look how pretty this is. It's got gold. That's gold. Gold is on this. I'm not gonna show you the inside. I'll show you real quick. It looks like that. But I want you to get it and open it and like it when you get it. So you have to have some surprises. And then a couple of weeks before your cruise, you're going to get a booklet like this. This one was for a Halloween cruise. So notice the bats. Not all of them are gonna have bats on them. I have other ones. I couldn't find them. I don't know where they are. Inside, you'll have your luggage tags. I obviously have used my luggage tags, so I don't have them with me. And we had some on our suitcase the other day, and I actually just had to rip it off because I had to go somewhere else, and I was so sad because I had to get rid of my luggage tag. But it's just a sticker. I don't know what my deal is, but it had Disney Cruise on it, so somehow I thought it was magical, but I threw it away. So you'll get this little book, and it has everything you need to know in it. It has documents, it has little tips and hints and how to get a hold of people. It has emergency cards that you can give to your family so they can contact you. It has this pretty picture on the back. That's so pretty. So this is just basically something, it's for your information. A lot of it you can find online, but it gets you excited, and it's something that Disney does to remind you and be like, hey, you're going on a cruise. So when you arrive and you check in, they will give you a boarding number and a little card. It tells you, can't see that at all, there you go. It tells you what room you're in and it tells you what boarding number you are. So I'm boarding number 13 this time. Pretty much if you arrive at your port arrival time, you won't have to wait long until your number's called because it goes in order. So if you get the very first port arrival time, you're gonna be in group 1 or 2. I've never gotten the earliest time. I've always gotten the next 15-minute slot. I think the earliest we've gotten was 10:45, and the lowest boarding number we were in was 4. So that shows you. And this was, I think our boarding time on this one was 11 something, and we were in group 13, but we got there right when we were supposed to, and then we got on the ship right away, so we didn't have to wait. Only one of you will get this in your room, and you'll have to show it to the cast member before they let you into the little hallway to walk onto the ship. What's it called? A gangway? I think it's called a gangway. So it's like your gangway pass. When you get into your room, you might have little things waiting for you. In this case, we had this little envelope waiting for us. And it just has your room number on the back. Obviously mine's I used it. I think I put it in my pants. But inside your envelope, you have tickets if you have any excursions or princess meet and greets. So that's what your ticket will look like. It'll remind you the day, time, who's going, what it's for. And it's perforated, so they'll rip off some and then you keep the other one. Sometimes, obviously they don't all the time because all mine are intact. Those will probably be on where your refrigerator is, in that area, up on that little desk, you'll find your envelope, and they'll give you all your tickets at once. So one time I didn't realize, I totally missed the Goofy's Sports Simulator tickets that we had because I just kind of glanced at the tickets we had and I was like, oh, here's my princess tickets in this envelope. And I didn't think to look anywhere else and to look further to see that we also had the Goofy ones. And so I was like, oh, they'll give me my Goofy ones the day before we're supposed to go. No, they didn't. They gave them to me on the first day. So you need to make sure you make sure all your tickets are there on the first day, and then that way you don't forget and miss something you're supposed to be on. This next envelope doesn't come in your room. It comes on your little hook outside your door, and it's if you are eating at Palo or Remy, it's like an invitation. It's super fancy, super cool. So I obviously don't ever forget when I'm supposed to eat at Palo, but they give this to you there to remind you, and you pull it out. and you have a little reservation reminder. It just tells you your date and time and who's supposed to be going to your restaurant. So that's fun. They actually give this to you the night before. So turn down service the day before you go to an adult-only restaurant. They will put it out there for you. All right, the next thing that I have is something that you get the night before you pull into another port, and it's like a shopping guide. So it's just a printout that they hand to you. This is for Nassau, and it's just got ads on it. It also tells you like the hours some things are open. It'll tell you like what the currency is and the conversion rate, where you're located, and what language they speak. But they just have, I mean, it's a lot of stuff. They give you a map. They tell you certain highlighted areas of where you can go. And normally they have a port shopping talk, and sometimes it's just on TV, but sometimes it's in person. You can go different places on the ship. It'll be in your Navigator, and it's in this shopping guide. But basically you can go there, and actual people on the ship will tell you what you can expect when you go shopping in that port. Along with the shopping guide, you'll also get every day a Navigator. They actually give you one when you check in for the first day, and then every night at turn down service, they'll give you the Navigator for the next day. And the Navigator is basically just a sheet of everything that you're doing while you're on the ship, and it's in grid form. You can see at the top it goes by time, and it'll tell you what age it's for, and then it'll give you a location. These are super helpful, and they basically tell you everything that's going on the ship at all times. On the back, they also give you the hours for everything that's open: pools, restaurants, lounges, anything that you could want. They also have the character appearances listed, so you know everywhere they are and when they are. Some people like to bring highlighters and highlight like certain activities for certain members of their family that they're going to do. I just take it and fold it up and put it in my pocket and look at it every now and then. You can also look at the app on your phone. It has it on there. I think that the Navigator paper version is just easier because I don't always have my phone with me, and like I don't have it. I have pockets in my swimsuit, and I don't really want to put my phone in my pocket, but if that paper's in my pocket and it gets wet, then I don't care. And Navigators, you can go get one at guest services. You can ask your stateroom host. Like, you can keep finding them everywhere. So I prefer the paper ones. The day before you arrive at Castaway, if you're on a cruise that goes down to Castaway, you will get a map of Castaway. It basically just tells you where everything is located and where the ship is in relation to everything you want to do. And if you have port adventures, they'll show you where they're located on that map. There's also 3 different beaches. There's a family beach that has like one stop that has just water in front of you. There's a second family beach at the second stop that has slides and a little climby rope jungle gym in the water for kids. And then there's another tram you have to take after the second stop that'll take you to Serenity Bay, which is the adults only beach, and that's all found on that map. If you are on the Dream class ship, the Dream or the Fantasy, then you could take advantage of the Midship Detective Agency. It's an interactive game with the paintings on the ship, well, in the middle of the ship because it's just on the midship, but you go up and down all the decks. When you start, you go to a little kiosk. There's one on deck 2 by Enchanted Garden, and there's one on deck 5 in the atrium. And basically, you'll just pick up one of these, and they'll give you a pencil, and then it'll tell you where to go. And it gives you a big list. Is that upside down? Yep. It gives you a big list of all the decks on the ship and where you're supposed to go, and then you can write down little hints that you have along the way. This takes a long time. It's probably best to start it on the first day and do a little bit each day. If you do it all at one time, it's pretty tiring, and it could take up your entire afternoon. But this is what you'll get to walk around with. And all of your kids, like, they can each get one, or you can get one. Everyone in your party can pick one of these up. And you don't have to be a kid to play. If you want to play bingo, you'll get electronic cards, but also they'll give you a paper pack. You only get you get a lot less bingo cards on the paper pack than the electronic pack, but when you go to bingo, you'll get a package deal, and you'll get electronic and paper packs. We like to give the paper packs to our kids. We have won bingo on the paper pack. One of the games from this paper pack right here won us $117, I believe it was. So you can win on paper. So if your kids are like, I'm not gonna win on paper, yes, you can win on paper. It's been done. If you go to a drawing class, an animation class, you will get a helpful guide to help you draw, but also there's a cast member there going over it with you on the screen. You'll start with a blank piece of paper like this. And then they'll teach you the steps, how to draw characters. I think you do 2 each session. We've done Mickey and Donald and Goofy and Tinkerbell, I believe, is all the ones we've done. We don't do it every cruise we go on. But this was my Donald. Like, that's pretty good, right? And I can't draw, like, at all. If you look closely, it's not that good, but I'm pretty impressed. This is pretty good. Some of you have gone to Disney World. When you return, sometimes in the mail, you'll get things from Disney thanking you for coming. Disney Cruise Line does the exact same thing. If you don't want to see what this is, close your eyes for a second. They'll send you sometimes a postcard like this, like a little painting. I mean, it's bigger than postcards, like 5x7. Or they'll send you like one of the things on like the vellum paper or a drawing, but you'll get something in the mail. Okay, you could open your eyes now, I took it down. But so that's something fun to look out for. If your kids get called to do something above and beyond, something that not everyone gets to do, it's called a magical moment, and they get little documentations for it. These documentations were on our stateroom door when we came back one night after my kids were selected to be in the Golden Mickeys. They were on stage with Snow White. I've showed that clip a billion times. But because of that, they got this, and it had my kid's name, and it said starring as a dwarf in the Golden Mickeys. So they type it out. It's typed, it's not handwritten. And it says it was presented by the entertainment team, and it says when it was. So they each got one. But like you can, like any cast member can give this out for anything. Like I know people who have gotten these just because they, had a really good conversation with somebody at guest services, and they got one and said like, so-and-so from guest services loved your enthusiasm. My kids really thought that was super cool. I think I thought it was more cool. I might have even cried a little bit when I saw it. On Pirate Night, the kids menu at dinner, I kept this. I don't know why, but this is the kids menu at dinner. I think it's kids. Is it everybody's? Oh yeah, it's the kids menu. But it's got cruise line image on the back. It's obviously a pirate hat for Pirate Night. You open it up and it has their menu, and then they can color on it. But then also, somehow, I'm not very good at this. It opens up, it's a hat. Yeah, there we go. See, they can wear it as a hat as well. Pretty cool, right? So if you guys have any ideas of what I can do with all this stuff, because right now it's just in a pile on my bookshelf, leave it in the comments below, because I would like to hold on to these things. If you want to stay and check out some of my other videos, I will link them up above. Make sure you check those out. I think you will enjoy them thoroughly. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in a couple days. Bye!